Hello and welcome back to Super Saints, where we look at some of our greatest saints and see what they have in common with some of our favorite superheroes. This is Volume 1, Issue 6, and we're looking at St. Martin DePorres. Martin DePorres was born in the 1500s in Lima, Peru, to a mixed-race couple, and because of this he faced a lot of difficulties in that time. He was actually almost prevented from joining his religious order. He sought to give his life to God in the Dominicans, but eventually they relented and allowed him in. There's one instance of St. Martin's life that helps for our comparison today. As he was doing small, simple tasks around the monastery, they noticed that they had a lot of rats. And the abbot, the man in charge of the monastery, said to Martin DePorres, "Hey Martin, get rid of the rats. Do something. Kill them, whatever." And Martin said, "Okay." So he goes down and he finds one of the rats and he says, "Hey rats, please stop bothering the abbot." And they stopped. They listened to him. The abbot had no more sightings of any rats. Because of this affinity for small furry creatures, St. Martin DePorres is a little bit like the superhero Squirrel Girl. Now, you might never have heard of Squirrel Girl. She hasn't made it onto the big screen or even the small screen yet. But there's one more point of Squirrel Girl for which she is famous that helps in our comparison today. There's a great moment in the comics where Squirrel Girl goes toe-to-toe with Thanos. And it happens totally off-screen. You don't see what happens, but suddenly and seemingly easily, she defeats the Titan. And everyone's shocked. How in the world did Squirrel Girl manage to do this? And that's perfect for Martin DePorres, because nobody thought Martin would amount to anything. Because he was mixed race, because he was poor, because they didn't think he was very smart, they thought he would be unimportant, and they could ignore him. And so both Squirrel Girl and Martin DePorres are great reminders to us that we don't always see people the way God sees people. And sometimes the people we underestimate are the ones that God has chosen to have the biggest impact in the world or in our lives. So when we're tempted to underestimate or dismiss people, we need to remember the example of St. Martin DePorres. St. Martin DePorres, pray for us. There we go. One take.